Good evening. 6 years ago today at Miami Beach, Richard Milhous Nixon accomplished perhaps the most remarkable political comeback in American history. After campaigns in 1960 and 62 had branded him a loser, Nixon won the Republican presidential nomination and was on his way to the White House. And on this night, August 8th in 1968, he had this to say.
America's in trouble today not because her people have failed, but because her leaders have failed. And what America needs are leaders to match the greatness of her people.
Nixon was a very good president from the beginning. He did many good things that pleased the people of America. These things include
creating the EPA,
ending the draft,
smashing the deficit,
guaranteed health care,
a guaranteed income,
lowered voting age,
gender equality,
without inflation at home. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour.
During this time in America, with the current assassination of two political leaders, Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy, America was in need of a strong leader. Also, with the Vietnam War, that caused many struggles in America's economy.
You, Richard Milhous Nixon, do solemnly swear.
I, Richard Milhous Nixon, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office
that I will faithfully execute the office
of President of the United States,
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God. The peace we seek to win, is not victory over any other people, but the peace that comes with healing in its wings, with compassion for those who have suffered, with understanding for those who have opposed us, with the opportunity for all the peoples of this earth to choose their own destiny.
With the new controversy over Nixon's possible involvement, Congress becomes very concerned. Congress assigns a committee to investigate Nixon's involvement in the Watergate trial. The political investigation uncovers secret tapings of the conversation within the White House. These tapes include conversations of Nixon and Haldeman discussing the break-in. This created tension between the Congress and the president. Congress strongly considered impeaching Nixon.
Nixon's tapes are recovered and released by Congress's investigation. Not all of the recorded tapes are released because he deleted many of them. The tapes are called smoking gun tapes, which is used as a metaphor to say that he was caught red-handed.
On the investigation, the Democratic break-in thing, we're back in the problem area because the FBI is not under control because Gray doesn't exactly know how to control it, and their investigation is now leading into some productive areas.
Just 18 months into his second term, President Nixon resigns from office. After facing possible impeachment, Vice President Ford steps up to take office as President of the United States. Richard Nixon goes down in history as the first and only president to have resigned from the presidential office.
Many people lost respect for Nixon as a political leader. His actions caused people to be less trusting of those in leadership positions. These political cartoons depict most of the public's attitude towards the scandal. Although most were disheartened to hear that he was part of the scandal, some did not change their opinion about him. Now that Ford is president, he has the power to pardon. Ford pardons Nixon, getting him out of trouble with the law.
During and around Nixon's time in office, we see the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy. This caused the American people to be very upset and in need of a strong political leader. Also, the costliness of the Vietnam War had a major effect on the Americans.
The conflict is Nixon's involvement in the break-in and stealing the opposing political party's information. The compromise is that when Nixon resigned, Ford took his place and pardoned him, saving him from possibly being arrested.
The involvement changed the way people viewed the integrity of the president.